Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? I'm State Farm Agent Dennis Roach, and I can help you simplify and get to a better state. When we handle your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too, because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% and actually help you get ahead. Call me, State Farm Agent Dennis Roach, at 674-9831 today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Grant County, you know how much it means to have neighbors you can count on, like the Cookout Kings who invite you over every weekend for Burger Palooza. Well, here's another good neighbor you can count on. I'm State Farm Agent Dennis Roach. My team and I are here to help life go right when you combine your home and auto insurance, which can save you money and time. So combine home and auto and start the savings rolling. Call me, State Farm Agent Dennis Roach, at 674-9831, 674-9831, and get to a better state with State Farm. In Grant County.
Well, welcome to Mississinewa High School for IHSAA Volleyball Sectional Round 2 from Mississinewa High School. Dalton Bishop alongside Ryan Scott for Round 2 action from Mississinewa High School. The first game features Fort Wayne Bishop Luers and the Belmont Lady Squaws. On Thursday night, we had pronounced Belmont as the Lady Braves. Got confirmation from Belmont that the boys' athletics are the Braves and the girls' athletics is the Squaws. So we got that fixed here for today, and we're ready to go with Round 2 action from Mississinewa High School. Looking at on Thursday, the Belmont Braves played the second game as they played Marion, and they defeated Marion by a final of 25-14 in the first set, 25-11 in the second set, and 25-17 in the third set. On the other side, Bishop Luers, they played Norwell. They defeated Norwell in 3 sets, 25-8 in the first, 25-20 in the second, and winning the third and final set, 25-18. We'll take a 60-second timeout and come back and talk a little bit more about these matchups and hear from both coaches. This is Round 2 of IHSAA Girls Volleyball Sectional from Mississinewa High School on the Tribe Sports Network.
From Jamestown to Jonesville, from North Salem to South Milford, from River Forest to Grass Creek. No matter where you live in Indiana, you can enjoy high school sports coverage at its very best on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. It's 35 powerhouse radio stations, Fox Sports Indiana, and the World Wide Web, combining their vast resources to blanket the state, the Midwest, and the world with the purest, most riveting presentation of high school sports in America. From Anderson to Attica, Kendallville to Kokomo, follow the high school sports that make our state great all season long. Thank you, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, and welcome home. From Jamestown.
So welcome back to Mississinewa High School for Round 2 of the IHSAA Girls Volleyball Sectional. Again, Dalton Bishop alongside Ryan Scott here for the first of 2 games here this morning. In the first game, we got Bishop Luers taking on Belmont. In game number 2, the Heritage Lady Patriots will take on your Mississinewa Lady Indians. That game's scheduled to start around 11:30. We've got about 5 minutes until this game gets underway, and we will hear the coaches' interviews coming up after this 60-second timeout, after we hear a few words from Raymond James, or for State Farm agent Dennis Roach.
Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? I'm State Farm agent Dennis Roach, and I can help you simplify and get to a better state. When we handle your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% and actually help you get ahead. Call me, State Farm agent Dennis Roach, at 674-9831 today and get to a better state with State Farm. You know how much it means to have neighbors you can count on, like the Cookout Kings who invite you over every weekend for Burger Palooza. Well, here's another good neighbor you can count on. I'm State Farm agent Dennis Roach. My team and I are here to help life go right when you combine your home and auto insurance, which can save you money and time. So combine home and auto and start the savings rolling. Call me, State Farm agent Dennis Roach, at 674-9831, 674-9831, and get to a better state with State Farm. In Grant County, you know how much it means to have neighbors you can count on, like the Cookout Kings who invite you over every weekend for Burger Palooza. Well, here's another good neighbor you can count on. I'm State Farm agent Dennis Roach. My team and I are here to help life go right when you combine your home and auto insurance, which can save you money and time. So combine home and auto and start the savings rolling. Call me, State Farm agent Dennis Roach, at 674-9831, 674-9831, and get to a better state with State Farm. In Grant County, you know how much it means to have neighbors you can count on.
Tribe Sports Network for round 2 of IHSAA sectional play. Jeray Hampton from Fort Wayne Bishop Luers joins me. Coach, coming in off of a win against Norwell on Thursday. You got to be happy with that.
Very happy. The girls played well. I think they did everything that we asked them to do. I have to give a shout out to Savannah Albertson, number 14. She had one of her best games. She had 10 kills. She had a 675 hitting it percentage, and so we really worked our middles really well. And I think she helped kind of lead us down that road toward victory.
Coach, I saw Gabby North. Boy, oh boy, I thought she played with a ton of energy on Thursday. If she plays like that today, you may see yourself in the championship game.
We should. I mean, if we actually, she's been our leader all year. This year she's led our team in digging. She actually she's in the 1,000 dig club, and so that's been huge for us as far as her defensive presence in the back row. She makes timely kills when we need her to do, but I think with her leadership on there, she's really pulled this team together so that we can be more well-rounded and trust all of our hitters, and she really keeps us together, and she's the glue to our team this year.
Talk about Catherine Napke. I thought she stepped up as well.
Oh man, that kid is a spitfire. She's a bundle of energy. She can be she can kind of get over herself sometimes, but but I love it because it's all about the team. It's all about her passion, and that's the type of kid. She's a blue collar kid, and that's what I love about her. She'll run through any brick wall we ask her to run through.
Kind of talk to us about what you know about Belmont.
Well, they took one from us in our own home gym this year. They took us in 4, and so they got a great hitter in Tori. Tori's been awesome for me. I think she also is in the 1,000 kill club this year. So she's been their primary source. I also got to talk about Madeline Myers, man. Even though she's injured, she was a great backbone to that team as far as her passing in the back row and everything. So it's going to be sad not to see her on the floor, but I at least want to give her a shout out and be like, I felt like she was a great presence when she was a part of that team. Overall, I think he's rounded. I think his setters is a good setter, and she's putting up some great balls. Craig, this is going for his 13th, and so it's going to be a challenge to try to take it away because this has been his home gym for the last 13 seasons. So it's going to be a challenge, and we're not expecting him to lay down. But at the same time, I feel like if we just do what we need to do, we'll take care of business and put us right where we need to be as we head into that championship match. So.
Coach, good luck today, and hopefully you can put your Bishop Luers team in the championship game.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Jeray Hampton, head coach of Fort Wayne Bishop Luers.
Like the Cookout Kings who invite you over every weekend for Burger Palooza. Well, here's another good neighbor you can count on. I'm State Farm agent Dennis Roach. My team and I are here to help life go right when you combine your home and auto insurance, which can save you money and time. So combine home and auto and start the savings rolling. Call me, State Farm Agent Dennis Roach at 674-9831, 674-9831, and get to a better state with State Farm. In Grant County, you know how much it means to have neighbors you can count on, like the Cookout Kings who invite you over every weekend for Burger Palooza. Well, here's another good neighbor you can count on. I'm State Farm Agent Dennis Roach. My team and I are here to help life go right when you combine.
Sports Network, as we continue with more of our pregame show. Coach Craig Cole from Belmont joins me. Coach, come up with a win over Marion on Thursday. You got to be happy that you're in the second round playing Luers.
Oh yeah, we always think anytime you get in a tournament play, your main objective is to win, no matter if it's pretty or if it's ugly, but you just have to keep surviving. So we like that win on Thursday, kind of get our feet wet and heading into today.
Coach, talk about Tori Miller. I thought she played an outstanding match against Marion, and she just kind of seems like she's the fire to your team.
Oh, she is. She's the firepower, kind of, the leader that we look to get us out of trouble. And she's been doing it all year, and I think tournament time, she knows that turn it up just an extra notch where her all-around play kind of gets everybody else going.
So back here at Mississinewa High School after the national anthem, we're getting ready to get things underway here from Gas City. Bishop Luers and Belmont here in the first game. The starters for both teams, for Luers, number 2, Gabby North. Number 6, Abby Leja. Number 10, Jelena Gerard. Number 14, Savannah Albertson. Number 24, Kennedy Glenn. And number 27, Catherine Napke. For the Belmont Lady Braves, number 1, Brecken McBarnes. Or the Belmont Lady Squaws, sorry. I keep on doing that. I'm so used to the boys. So number 1, Brecken McBarnes. Number 5, Sophie Kroll. Number 6, Riley Hauser. Number 7, Lily Myers. Number 9, Liz Schumann. And number 14, Tori Miller. The libero for the Lady Squaws is number 12, Rachel McBride. So we're getting ready to get things underway here from Gas City. This game is the first game of the second round. Across the way, the Lady Indians sit and watch to see who they could potentially face in a championship game. We're underway. There's a set and a spike and a kill for number 14, Tori Miller. So her first kill and the team's first point. Back to serve as the Lady Squaws. That was McBride. Nice hustle by Luers and a tip over the net and a kill for number 6, Riley Hauser. So 2-0. Belmont leads here in the first set. Serve other than that. Here comes a spike from number 24. That was Kennedy Glenn. A little tip over the net from the Lady Squaws. Back the other way comes Gabby Norris. She played with a bunch of energy on Thursday. Let's see if she can keep that up here today. That was a point. Number 24, Kennedy Glenn. This with a little tip over the net. And that gives Luers their first point. So Gabby North goes back to serve the ball for the Lady Knights. And she gets an ace. 2-2 now. Talked to Jeray Hampton. He's the head coach from Luers. Talked about Gabby North in the pregame with that interview. And I'm telling you what, he said she's been the leader all year long. And she was the leader Thursday, and she's starting to be the leader here today. Napke. Here comes a little tip over that. Number 6, that was Leja. She acted like she was going to spike it. Just gave a little tip. Caught the Lady Squaws off guard. A good set from Glenn and a spike from Albertson. But it was not enough and goes into the net. And now the Squaws go back to serve again. 3-2 here in the opening set. This game ought to be a good one. Here comes a little spike. Getting a point for the Luers. Kennedy Glenn. Boy, oh boy, Ryan, I'm telling you what, if this game goes like this, and this match may go to 5 sets.
This very well could be, and this is going to be one of the best volleyball matches I've seen all year.
Comes a set and a spike and a kill from Tori Miller. Craig Kroll, the coach from Belmont, talked to him for about half an hour before the game, and he said Tori Miller has led this Lady Squaw team all year long. She's doing that here today. Napke gets over net. She's just the nice, calm, and cool player that you would want. And a block from Napke and a point from Luers. 4-4. Luers is fired up and ready to play here today. Belmont is favorited to win this sectional, going 11 straight years with a sectional championship for volleyball. And so far, Luers is knocking on the door from eliminating them out of this tournament. 5-4. Luers with the lead. And here is a serve into the net from Kennedy Glenn. And it makes it 5-5. Here comes a substitution for both teams. Number 13 for Luers checks into the lineup. Larry Beerbaum. And number 9 for Belmont, Liz Schumann back into the lineup. Here comes a set. And a little too strong on that spike, and it sails out of bounds. That spike came from number 6, Abby Leja. So far, both teams playing very good here in this opening set. Here comes a spike from North, and a little too strong on that one. So the lead extends to 2 for the Lady Squaws. Lady Squaws jumped out early to the lead at the start of this set, and then Luers came right back and capitalized and tied things up, and now the Lady Squaws getting some more momentum in their 3rd straight point. We got 2nd round action here this morning and a championship round coming up at 4 o'clock today. And that's what we're playing this match for, to see which team is going to be the first team in the championship game. Leja spike. Tori Miller with a spike to the far side. Timeout Luers. 9-5. Lady Squaws with the lead. Back in 30 seconds after these words from State Farm.
Struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? I'm State Farm Agent Dennis Roach, and I can help you simplify and get to a better state. When we handle your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% and actually help you get ahead. Call me, State Farm Agent Dennis Roach, at 674-9831 today and get to a better state with State Farm.
So back here, Mississinewa High School live on the Tribe Sports Network. And so far, so good for the Lady Squaws until that serve goes out of bounds. So now, Luers is going to go back to serve with number 13, Libby Beerbaum. She's a substitution. So 6, Beerbaum back to serve. And that serve goes, and it's capitalized by the Lady Squaws, and too many times the ball was hit. And so now the Lady Squaws get a point. And back to serve for the Lady Squaws is number 2, Audrey Blackmore. Gabby North with a spike and a torpedo down the far side for a Luers point. Boy, oh boy, Gabby North gets way up in the air. She comes down with a lot of force. And I'm telling you what, this girl can play the game of volleyball. Napke with a nice little save there to keep the Squaws from scoring. Luers playing good as a team right now. Here comes Napke, gets it over the net. Nice little play from the Lady Squaws. She just tipped it back behind her head. It caught Luers off guard. And now the Lady Braves, or the Lady Squaws, it's going to be a tough one for me today. I'm so used to saying the Braves, but they're the Lady Squaws. They got their 12th point, and now they lead by 5. So the momentum has shifted here. Here's a set. Here comes Gabby North again. It's too high. And it goes out of bounds. Or wait, that ball was tipped. Sorry. It looked like it had just was a line drive, went out of bounds, but the ball was tipped. And Luers gets a point, and number 10 going back to serve is Jelena Gerard. Tori Miller. Let's see what the call was. Lady Squaws with a point. I'm not sure exactly what the call was. So, the Lady Indian coaching staff and the team themselves across the way watching on to hopefully see who they could potentially play in today's championship game. Here's Napke to North. (14-8). Lady Squaws with the lead. Coach Jeray Hampton from Luers is just sitting over telling his girls to keep fighting. He knows that this is only the first set. It's the best of 3. And that spike sails out of bounds. 15-8. Boy, Ryan, I'm telling you, the momentum has just shifted in a heartbeat. Luers and the Lady Squalls were going back and forth, and all of a sudden, Lady Squalls have just taken over.
Yeah, they kind of got awake, as you can say, and they're playing very, very well right now.
So far, so good. Here's Gabby North again. This one is a little too far, and it's outside of the box. And the Lady Squalls stretch their lead to 8. Number 12, back to serve. That's Rachel McBride. She's the libero. Coach Dre Hampton just scratching his head, trying to figure out what is going on with his team. Played so well on Thursday, played so well the first few minutes of this match here in the first set, and then all of a sudden things have been havoc since. The set comes this little tip over the net from North, and it goes out of bounds. Gabby North getting very, very, very upset with herself on that one. The lead is 10. Rachel McBride. North. Hit the out of bounds line. And goes out of bounds again. So 19-8. Belmont leads. The Luers fans this set, and they're shocked. There's an ace for McBride. 20-8. Comes the libero for Luers, number 11, Madison Fromfelder. So right now, the Lady Squaws are just taking over. Just set, and here comes Tori Miller with a spike.
Point goes to Belmont.
Right now, Luers looks confused. Trying to figure out what's going on here. Players are chattering at each other. And an ace. 21-8.
That's McBride's second ace of the game.
And make it her third and back-to-back.
Yes.
23-8. Coach Hampton is just losing his mind down there. He's just squatted down and doesn't really know what to say right now at this point. And here comes a spike from North, and it's, again, too strong, goes out of bounds.
Belmont needs one to win this first set here at Mississinewa High School.
24-8. And let's see if McBride can end it out on an ace. At the end of the first set, Belmont Lady Squalls 25, Luers 8. Step aside for 60 seconds, come back for the second set. This is IHSAA Round 2 Sectional Volleyball action live from Mississinewa High School.
Your home and auto insurance, which can save you money and time. So combine home and auto and start the savings rolling. Call me, State Farm Agent Dennis Roach at 674-9831, 674-9831, and get to a better state with State Farm. In Grant County,
So back here on the Tribe Sports Network for IHSAA Round 2 sectional action from Mississinewa High School. And the first match, and the first set, rather, goes to Belmont. The Lady Squalls take the 1-0 advantage here in the opening match of the second round, winning that first set 25-8. Game 2 will feature the Mississinewa Lady Indians and the Heritage Lady Patriots. So, the Lady Indians, again, as I've said a few times earlier, they just sit right across the way. And they hope to punch their ticket into the championship game. That game is scheduled to start around 4 o'clock this afternoon. But the Lady Indians still got to play their second round game after getting a first round bye. They will play the second round game against Heritage, who they have not yet played so far in 2017. Heritage, of course, knocked the Lady Indians out of the first round last year. And so the Lady Indians looking for redemption here today as they hope to defeat the Lady Patriots and punch their ticket in to the championship game. And that's why they sit across the way. So perhaps if they do punch that ticket, they know who they will play, and they got a good read on both teams. So Luers comes out of this timeout after the 3-minute timeout that they award the teams after the sets end, and they look to capitalize and win the second set and tie things up at 1-1. It's the best of 5 in the sets. The best out of 5 wins the match. And right now, the Lady Squalls lead the sets 1-0, as you can see at the top of the screen. Here is Gabby North trying to fix her issue from what she had there in that first set. And out of bounds, and a point to Luers, and they jump out 1-0. Now let's see if they can keep the momentum rolling. Number 10, Jelena Gerard, back to serve. And this serve is a line drive. Ball was going to go out, and Gerard, just as a natural reaction, sticks her hands up. Ball tips off of her hands, and a point goes to Lady Squall. So bad break for Luers there. So, again, this is the round 2 of the IHSAA Volleyball Sectional 23.
And another point goes to Belmont.
The IHSAA sportsmanship expectations is they want the players and the coaches to treat everyone with the utmost respect, regardless of race, color, religion, gender expression, age, national origin, disability, marital status, sexual orientation, or military status in any of its activities or operations. Gabby North back to serve. Sends a live drive to McBride. And boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, that's going to catch the Luers off guard anytime they're going to do that, because I think that was number 6 for the Lady Squalls, Riley Hauser. The ball goes over the net, and she just jumps up, and she's facing the opposite way and just tips it over her head backwards. And Luers just looks in confusion of what to just happen. I'm going to pay attention to Tori Miller after that last point from the Lady Squalls. She kind of bent over and was holding her back a little bit, and if she goes down, there goes down a lot of offense and defense from the Lady Squalls. Tori Miller is the team leader in just about every category. 4-3. Lady Squalls lead by 1. And number 11 into the lineup, that's Madison Fraunfelder. Fraunfelder to serve. Little rainbow over the net. And here comes a set and a spike. That was number 2, Audrey Blackmore. And Gabby North saved it. Here comes Tori Miller with a spike and a point. 5-3.
And a good spike by Luers.
So a point from Luers. Here's a spike. Napke tried. Little spike over the net. Fraunfelder saves it. Here comes number 6, Leisha, and a point goes to Luers. 5-5. Luers is ecstatic. Tied up at 5. Five to 5. Tied it up here. Here's a set. Here comes a little spike. And it's going to hit off of a Luers player and still out of bounds for a Lady Squall point. 6-5. So back to serve is number 6. For Luers, that was Madison Parsnow.
And a spike goes to Belmont.
So 7-6. Luers, and this is about the point when Luers fell apart in that first set. Let's see if they can stay right with the Lady Squalls here in set number 2. Boy, that was a little rainbow over the net. Here comes a spike from Napke and a Luers point. 7-7.
And another point goes for Belmont. 7-7 in the second set.
Nine to 7, Lady Squalls with the lead. And now 10-7. Here we go again. The number that has really hurt Luers here today has been the number 7. They got over it now, and now it's 8. So 8 is where they were stuck at 8 in the first set. Let's see if they can get over that here in set number 2. It's number 10 with a serve. That was Gerard, and they score a point, and it's 10-9 here in set number 2. And now the Heritage Lady Patriots have arrived in the building. They will sit across the way, I would assume, and also scout one of these two teams to see possibly who they could play in the championship game.
And another tip for Belmont.
The Luers players wanted that one to be called out of bounds, and the official wasn't having it. It's a little set and a spike over the net by 14, Savannah Albertson, and a point to Luers, and it's 12-10. So Luers not going away. They're sticking around. But Lady Squalls have a bunch of momentum. So this game ought to be interesting. It's Gabby North with a serve. Here comes a spike from Miller, and it was blocked. Another one coming from Miller. This one is out, and a point goes to Luers. Gabby North back to serve again. This one a line drive, might be an ace, saved by McBride. Little spike over the net, and a point goes to Luers and ties it up at 12, Abby Leja. Gabby North, again, going back to serve. Luers going to look for their first lead of the day. And they're going to get it on an ace from Gabby North, and she's all fired up.
Luers is looking to win this set to tie it 1-1.
The team that comes out firing, normally the team that wins, and a serve that sails out for Gabby North, and it's 13-13. So right now, I would assume that you're getting the best from both teams, and the Lady Indians and the Lady Patriots are getting a good read on both teams. So whichever of the two teams make it to the championship game out of between Heritage and Mississinewa, which one of those teams makes it to the championships, getting a pretty good read on the best of both teams right now out of this first game here. And there's a spike and a point, and it ties it up at 14. Right now, you could throw a blanket over this game and you wouldn't know who's going to win. I wouldn't want to be at a casino betting on this one. 14-14. There's a set. Comes a little spike. Capitalized by the Lady Squall. Here's Beer Bombers. Here comes a set and a spike from Leja. Goes to the far side, and McBride capitalizes it. Comes a little tip over the net. North saves it. Good effort by Luers. But a point goes to the Lady Squalls. But gotta like the effort out of Gabby North and Jolena Gerard. They're all over the place. Number 14 back to serve. That's Tori Miller. Here comes a set from Gerard and a little tip over the net from Napke. She tips it again on a little block. Here's number 2 for Belmont, Audrey Blackmore. And a point goes to the Lady Squalls, and they extend their lead up to 2, 16-14 here in set number 2. Tori Miller with a serve, and it sails out. And now it's 16-15, and number 26 goes back to serve, Kennedy Glenn for Luers. I don't know, Ryan. We'll see who's going to win this set here.
Yes, it has been close for the whole match, and well, at the end we'll see who wins.
Number 6, Leja, was looking for a spike there and just kind of caught it with her elbow instead of her hand there, and it goes into the net. And the Lady Squalls get another point, 17-15. Gerard with a little tip over the net, almost a point. Tori Miller from the back row there with a spike. And here comes Napke with a tip over the net. Napke plays her heart out. A point for Luers, 17-16. Tori Miller with a little frustration on the Lady Squall's side. And now Abby Leja goes back to serve, trying to try to capitalize on her mistake a moment ago. And this serve is a little too strong, and it sails out of bounds. 18-16 here in set number 2. Excited to see both of these matches today. Both of these matches ought to be very, very good here this morning. And then it may be an even better one this afternoon for the championship. Little tip. Napke with a little tip over the net. Saved it there. Blocked by Napke again. Gerard goes up and blocks it. Boy, oh boy, the Luers is all over. Here's Gerard to North, and a spike and a point for Luers makes it 18-17.
After a long point, the Lady Knights get that point.
Luers is not going away. The Lady Squaws capitalized on everything Luers was doing. Luers capitalized everything the Squaws were doing, and Luers fights it out and gets the point here. Blocked again, but it goes out of bounds. Gerard is playing her heart out over on the far side of the court. So 19-17. Here comes a serve from the Lady Squaws. Here's Gerard. North. Here comes North with a little set over the net. McBride saves it. North to Gerard, and now North's going to spike it, and it's too strong, and it sails out of bounds and gives the Lady Squaws a 3-point lead at 20-17. Here comes a timeout from Luers. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. This is IHSAA Round 2 action from Mississinewa High School. Back at Mississinewa High School. Out of the timeout, Luers is going to try to finish this set out strong and hopefully get their first set win. (21-17). Here is a spike, and it goes out of bounds. (21-18). Here is a serve from Gerard. Far to the left and out of bounds. Makes it 22-18. And Rachel McBride goes back to serve for the Lady Squaws. There's a set. Here comes a spike from Miller. And a point for the Lady Squaws again. Again, we talked about Tori Miller on Thursday. We're going to talk about her today. She's all over the place for the Lady Squaws. Good to see Daryl Watson from the Lady Indian JV volleyball team here to support her fellow teammates. And a spike from North gives the Luers a point at 23-19. It's kind of weird to say Fort Wayne Bishop Luers Lady Knights. It's a long one. Their mascot is the Lady Knights, but I like to just call them Bishop Luers. There's a serve from North, almost was an ace, and McBride gets it over the net. Here's Gerard with a set. And here comes Lasia with a spike, and it was blocked by Belmont and gives them a 24-19 lead, and they are looking for their match point right here with number 6 back to serve, Riley Hauser. Here it comes. Little rainbow, Napke capitalizes it. Here comes a spike from Malaysia. Gets it over the net. Tori Miller with a spike.
And they win another set.
25-19 on this one. So Luers was a little bit closer this time, but not close enough. Back in a couple of minutes here on the Tribe Sports Network. This is IHSAA Girls Volleyball Sectional live from Mississinewa High School.
All the fun.
So back here on the Tribe Sports Network at Mississinewa High School for IHSAA Volleyball Sectional 23 Round 2 action between the Belmont Lady Squaws and Fort Wayne Bishop Luers, the Lady Knights. So the Lady Squaws with 2-set wins so far, 25-8, 25-19, and looking for their third win in a row, which would end this match and put the Lady Squaws in tonight's championship game. We will do our best to get the coach's interview before the championship games, so that way you can hear their opinion on this afternoon's
And
game.
Tori Miller comes up with another hard spike.
1-0 Lady Squaws already. I know Coach Craig Kroll from Belmont said that Belmont had 5 teams today in the Grant County area, all the way from cross country to volleyball to both soccer teams to the volleyball team. So 5 teams representing Belmont in the Grant County area here today. Two to 0, Lady Squaws lead, and here comes a serve from McBride. Here comes a spike from North. Three to 0, Lady Squaws. Rachel McBride to serve. There's a little tip over that from Napke. And somehow, some way, the Lady Squaws hit the ball back over the net, and it just drops right in the hole of the Luers defense. And while we got a minute, congratulations to Coach Funk and the Mississinewa Indian football team on a win over Alexandria last night, 69-20, ending out the regular season at 7-2. And they will play Frankfurt in the first round sectional game coming up this next Friday. And also, congratulations to CIC foe Eastbrook Panthers on an undefeated season in a Central Indiana Conference championship. Here's a point to Lady Squaws. They've come out with a 5-0 lead here in the third set. And right now, they look like they're on their way to the championship game. Here's McBride. Gerard Napke with a spike and a point. 5-1. Now Luers finally gets on the board, and Gabby North's going to go back to serve. And I looked down at Napke after she spiked it, and she said every time she wants it. Here's North. Here's a set and a spike and a point for the Lady Squaws. 6-1. I talked to Coach Kroll again earlier before we did our interview, and he said that they had rented out a conference room at a hotel down the road here. So if they were to make it to the championship game, that they had somewhere to go. That way they didn't have to drive all the way back to Belmont. They come all the way back up here for the championship. And then he went on and told me about the 5 teams in the Grant County area and was talking about he didn't know which restaurant they were going to go eat at because it was all going to be packed. And in the meantime, the Lady Squaws have now stretched the lead to 7 at 8-1. And a substitution, number 6, coming into the lineup for Luers, Abby Leja, and she replaces Kennedy Glenn. From the back row, Leja, and it's out. 9-1. Lady Squaws are all over Luers right now. There's a spike from Napke and out again. Timeout coming for Luers. And we're going to step aside for 30 seconds. 10-1. Lady Squalls lead all over Luers. This is IHSAA Girls Volleyball Action live from Mississinewa High School. (11-1) right now, as the Lady Squaws lead by 10. So, Gabby North tried to spike it, and it was blocked again by the Lady Squaws. And right now, they lead by 11 at 12 to 1.
Yes, Belmont has a humongous lead right now, and they hope to keep it.
Gives a little tip over the net. And Luers finally gets their second point. I'm going to turn things over to Ryan. I'm going to run down and get some coaches' interviews for our next game, and I'll be back.
Tori Miller here for the serve for Belmont. Belmont has a huge score right now, 13-2, and they hope to keep it. McBride goes for the tip, and it's good. Strong serve by Miller, and it sails across the court, and it's out. And Bishop Luers scores another point, 14-4 here in the third. Good spike by Belmont, and they keep this extended run. 15-4 left here in the third at Mississinewa High School. And a spike by Bishop Luers, and it sails across the court, just a little long. Belmont tries to go for the soft spike, and it hit the net on their side. Belmont still leads with Belmont serving. After a long point, Belmont wins the point. Belmont still serving. Belmont goes for a spike, hits the net. And it's Luers point. Belmont goes for the spike, and it's down on the ground, and it's good. – 19-5 with Belmont extending their huge run. After a hard spike, Bishop Luers wins the point. Belmont's point. Belmont serves and it didn't get it quite over the net. Bishop Luers looks to come back. 21-7 here left in the third. Point, Bishop Luers. And a spike by Bishop Luers, and it's a little wide. Belmont 22. Bishop Luers 8, left in third. And Bishop Luers comes for the spike, and it's good. 22-9. After a long point, Bishop Luers somehow got that point. Miller goes for the spike on Belmont's side, and it's just a little long. Lady Knights try to go for the serve, and it's just a little short. Belmont needs 2 to win here at Mississinewa High School to go on to the championship later this evening. Nice spike by Belmont. Belmont needs 1. And that's the match. Belmont is going on to the finals here at Mississinewa High School later this evening. We'll be back in a few on the Tri Sports Network. We will be with you shortly with coaches' interviews. This is the Tri Sports Network.
So back we are at Mississinewa High School for IHSAA Girls Volleyball Sectional Round 2 between the Heritage Patriots and the Mississinewa Lady Indians. Before we get into the thick of things with the volleyball stuff, we've got linebacker Kyler Funk from the Mississinewa football team. Kyler, you've had an outstanding season at the linebacker position, leading the conference in tackles. Come up with a big win last night over Alexandria, 69-20. Kind of tell us about that game a little bit.
Well, we started off rough a little bit, and it was fun playing with them. And I think we got the hang of their offense towards like the second quarter, and then at halftime we kind of made a little adjustments. We had a great defensive plan. I think after halftime we scored a lot of points and shut them down a lot during halftime and during third quarter. And yeah, we put it to them, I think.
What's the game plan going into sectionals next week against Frankfort? Obviously, they picked up their first win of the year last night.
Well, we watched their film a little bit today, and they're not as bad as what people think they are. Like they play obviously a harder schedule than we do, and they play like some powerhouse schools, and they're pretty good. They're a good program. They'll be a competition for us. I feel like I think we can go out there and put it to them. I feel like it could be a good game. But I mean, yeah, Frankfurt's who I'm worried about right now. I've been watching a lot of film on them lately. I mean, yeah, they're fast, they're athletic. I can't wait to put it to them.
What's your game plan? Of course, you want to take it one game at a time, beating Frankfurt. But if you was to get to the next round, do you feel like your chances of winning a sectional is pretty good this year?
Yeah, against Marion or Delta, whoever wins that. I mean, Marion obviously has a good program now, and they're a lot better than they have been. And Delta, they're pretty good too. They have a really good running back. Delta's running back is like second in the nation in rushing yards, and he's a powerhouse. And I don't think Marion's ever played that good of a running back ever, and that's why I think it could be a good game. But Marion's just also a lot more athletic than Delta. But I feel like we scrimmaged Marion over the summer. We didn't have half our team, and I feel like we could put it to them. I can't wait. And then we got in the championship. We're gonna have Lebanon. I feel like in Lebanon's not as good as what people think they are either.
Kyler, thank you for your time and best of luck against Frankfurt on Friday.
Yep, thank you.
Back after this on the Tribe Sports Network. So welcome back to Mississinewa High School for IHSAA Round 2 action from Mississinewa High School. The first match featured the Belmont Lady Squalls and Fort Wayne Bishop Luers. Belmont won all 3 sets, and they're in the championship game here tonight. That championship game scheduled to start around 4 o'clock this evening. Here in game number 2, we have the Heritage Christian Lady Patriots taking on the Mississinewa Lady Indians. Heritage, a pretty good volleyball team. In facts of common foes, Heritage played against Belmont earlier in the season. Belmont won that in 4 sets. That was about a month ago. Mississinewa has not played Belmont. Mississinewa has not played Heritage. So 2 teams today that Mississinewa has not played. If Mississinewa is to beat Heritage, they would play Belmont in the championship game tonight at 4, and they haven't played either of these 2 teams. So a tough challenge here today for the Lady Indians, and Heritage, a tough challenge for them taking on the Lady Indians. Heritage has not played Mississinewa, so they're going to try to figure things out quickly and see what they can do against the Lady Indians. Looking at Heritage's roster, and we're just going to go ahead and go down the list, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seniors. Those seniors is number 2, Natalie May, number 3, Madison Candler, number 5, Bianca Blanks, number 13, Delaney Benner, number 15, Maggie Stenroff, and number 16, Haley Lacey. The junior class is number 4, Rachel Phillips, number 6, Brookley McCullough, and that's the end of the juniors there. So they've got a fairly young team outside of the 5 seniors they have. They have 3 sophomores and 3 freshmen on this Heritage Christian Lady Patriots teams. Their coach is Whitney Sweet. For the Lady Indians, they, on the other hand, have 7 seniors, so high hopes for the Lady Indians here today. Those seniors are number 1, Kinsey Skeens, number 2, Jaslyn Hoffines, number 4, Allison Swift, number 5, Erica Foy, number 7, Haley Walters, and number 12, Taylor Walker, and number 14, Mallory Sands. The junior class features number 3, Madison Stanley, and number 8, Hallie Plank, number 9, Emily Taylor, and that rounds out the junior class. For the sophomore class for the Lady Indians, they have number 6, Riley McKee, and number 10, Kirsten Lockwood, number 11, Tyra Stanley, and number 13, Jenna Berryhill. That rounds out the Lady Indian roster. They are coached by Miss Hope Coons. So on behalf of Athletic Director Chance Young, the principal Steve Quater, assistant principal Andy Resch, and the superintendent Leslie Winter, we'd like to welcome you to Mississinewa High School for today's IHSAA Round 2 volleyball action live from Mississinewa High School. We are about 2 to 3 minutes away from getting things underway here at Mississinewa High School, so we'll step aside for a 2-minute timeout and come back with volleyball action live from Mississinewa High School. This is Lady Indian Volleyball on the Tribe Sports Network.
Hey.
To Jonesville, from North Salem to South Milford, from River Forest to Grass Creek. No matter where you live in Indiana, you can enjoy high school sports coverage at its very best on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. It's 35 powerhouse radio stations, Fox Sports Indiana, and the World Wide Web, combining their vast resources to blanket the state, the Midwest, and the world with the purest, most riveting presentation of high school sports in America. From Anderson to Attica, Kendallville to Kokomo, follow the high school sports that make our state great all season long. Thank you, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, and welcome home. From Jamestown to Jonesville, from North Salem to South Milford.
So welcome back to Mississinewa High School as we get ready to get things underway here in Gas City. The starters for both teams, the visiting team on the scoreboard is your host, the Mississinewa Indians. Their starters is number 1, Kinsey Skeens. She's a senior. Number 3, Madison Stanley. She is a junior. Number 5, Erica Foy. She's a senior. Number 8, Hallie Plank. She's a junior. Number 10, Kirsten Lockwood is a sophomore. And number 14, Mallory Sands is a senior. The libero for the Lady Indians is number 9, Emily Taylor. We're going to try to do our best here on the Heritage Patriots, as I didn't get a chance to catch all of their starters because of the issue with the roster mistakes that we had up here. So as we go on, I will read you their starters that go out onto the court. Their starters are number 3, Maggie Castleman. Number 0 is their libero player, Jessica Dodane. Number 2, Olivia Beard. Number 9, Grace Castleman. Number 5, Isabella Rousey. And I'm missing one player here. I think it's number 11, Bree Dawson. So the starters for Heritage: number 2, Olivia Beard; number 3, Maggie Castleman; number 5, Isabella Rousey; number 9, Grace Castleman; and number 11, Bree Dawson. And the libero is Jessica Dodane. Now for the Lady Indians, they are going back to serve, and it's number 14, Mallory Sands. Serve goes across the far side, almost havoc for Heritage, but it's not. And a point for the Lady Indians, and they go up 1-0 here on their home court. Mallory Sands is going to go back again to serve for the Lady Indians. 1-0 here in the opening set. Serve looks a little strong, and it is strong, goes out of bounds, and now Heritage is going to tie it up at 1. Check in to the lineup for Heritage is number 14, Emily Schumann. Number 9 back to serve. That is Grace Castleman. Here's Skeens with a set and a little tip over the net for Plank and a point. 2-1. Allison Swift going to check into the lineup. She replaces Madison Stanley. Kinsey Skeens going to go back to serve for the Lady Indians. So 2-1 here in set number 1. Here comes a little spike over the net from number 14, Emily Schumann, and it gives Heritage their second point of today's contest. We're all knotted up at 2. Here in set number 1 of the IHSAA girls' second round from Mississinewa High School. Dodane serves it across the net. Here comes Skeens with a set, and now Swift's going to spike it, and Heritage Christian is going to capitalize, and now Skeens with a little tip over the net. Here comes number 7 with a spike. That was Taylor Zelt, and she gives Heritage their third point and their first lead of today's set. This is the first set. It's the best of 5.
Dalton, this match could be very close here for the Lady Indians.
Yeah, Heritage plays a tough schedule, and they play some pretty good teams. And here comes a spike from Foy. Heritage capitalizes. Here comes a set from Skeens, and another spike by Foy, and it was blocked. Number 14, Emily Schumann, and number 7, Taylor Zelt blocked Foy's spike. And now the Lady Patriots go up by 2 at 4-2. Dodane back to serve once again for the Lady Patriots, and it goes across the net. Here's Sands with a dig and a set from Skeens, and a spike for Plank and a point, Lady Indians, 4-3. Kirsten Lockwood going to come into today's game. She replaces Emily Taylor. And Hallie Plank's going to go back to serve. Plank is a junior. She stepped up a lot from her sophomore year and has really produced for the Lady Indians here in 2017. Here's a little rainbow over the net. Here comes a spike from Zelt, and a point. Heritage Lady Patriots. Number 5 back to serve, Isabella Rousey. As you just said a moment ago, Ryan, this game could be one of those games that goes down to the wire. Takes all 5 sets to finish it. Now Foy's going to give a little tip over the net to Dodane with a set. And here comes a spike from number 3, Maggie Castleman. And she scores. And now Heritage goes up by 3. Heritage defeated the Lady Indians last year in the first round, knocked them out of the tournament, and now the Lady Indians are going to try to get revenge back, but Heritage says not today. Here comes a spike into the net. Isabella Rousey. And now the Lady Indians will take over, and they will serve. And a substitution, Mallory Sands goes out, and Taylor Walker replaces her with Erica Foy going back to serve for the Lady Indians. Comes a serve to Dodane. She's going to dig it. And here comes a spike, or a little tip over the net, rather, by Castleman. That was Maggie Castleman. Here's a set from Skeens, and Lockwood's going to spike it. Not Swift with a little spike to the far side, on the back side of the box. And a point goes to the Lady Indians, and it's 6-5. Erica Foy is serving once again for the Lady Indians. 6-5. We got a close contest here in the first set. Foy with another serve. Here comes a spike, and it's blocked by Swift and Lockwood. That spike came from Maggie Castleman, and Swift and Lockwood wasn't having it. So Foy back to serve again on a tie ball game at 6-6, and it goes into the net. Seven to 6. Who's going back to serve for the Patriots? Number 11, Bree Dawson. Here comes the serve. It goes to Foy with a dig. Here comes a set from Skeens, and here comes a little spike, but it goes into the net from Allison Swift. 8-6. Heritage takes the lead again. This is a little spike that goes over the net. It just nips over the net, and an ace from Dawson. 9-6. Bad luck there for the Lady Indians. They had it played right, but the ball just barely grazed the net and went over, and it just dropped. Here's Foy with a dig. Here comes a set from Skeens. A spike from Lockwood. And Heritage Christian capitalizes. Here's Maggie Castleman with a spike and a point. Heritage goes up 10-6. Coach Coons continues to stay positive and encourage her girls to keep fighting. Here comes a serve. Here's Skeens. Now Lockwood with a little tip over the net. Foy. Skeens. Here comes Lockwood again with a spike and a point. 10-7. I had a chance to watch the Lady Indians practice yesterday. They were fired up and ready to go. And Madison Stanley was one of those, and she's going back to serve for the Lady Indians. Stanley's serve goes to the far side. Here comes a spike. Foy lays out to save it, and now Walker gets it over the net. Almost havoc for the Lady Indians. Here comes a little tip. Good play by Emily Taylor, the libero. Now Lockwood. And it's blocked, but it goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a Lady Indian point. And now it's going to be 10-8. Madison Stanley goes back again to serve. Here's Stanley over the net. Lockwood with a set to Skeens, and now Lockwood, it was blocked. And a point for Heritage. 11-8. Boy, oh boy, Heritage looks like they're ready to go here in the second round. Here's a dig for Stanley. Now Walker gets it over the net. That was number 2, Olivia Beard. She spiked it and it barely got over the net. It seemed like it was just going to go into the net, and then it somehow just floated up and dropped. 12-8. Number 7, Taylor Zelt to serve. It's an ace. (13-8). See a little frustration from Erica Foy from the Lady Indians. Stanley, now Skeens, and now Foy from the back row. (14-8). Heritage getting a little momentum. Timeout, Lady Indians. It's going to be a 60-second timeout. Heritage 14, Mississinewa 8. We're back in 60 seconds. This is IHSAA Volleyball live from Mississinewa High School. So back here at Mississinewa High School, Lady Indians trail 14-8. Heritage with the lead. And Taylor's out to serve once again. Here goes the serve, and it's into the net, and the point goes to the Lady Indians. 14-9, and Emily Taylor, the libero, goes back to serve for the Lady Indians. Mississinewa ended out their season at 20-5 overall. Before coming in the sectionals, getting a first round bye, and now they play Heritage here in the second round, and a block by Plank and Taylor Walker.
An amazing play by the Indians.
Hallie Plank is strong on that front line there for the Lady Indians. 14-10. Here is Emily Taylor's serve across the net. Here comes a little tip from number 3. Maggie Castleman had the right idea. There was not a single Lady Indian on this side up on the front line, and she tried to tip it over there. Not enough, and it's into the net. 14-11. Here's Taylor's serve to the far side. Here comes a spike to the backside, and it's in. There wasn't a single Lady Indian back there, and a point goes to Heritage. Boy, oh boy, 15-11. Indian football player Dustin Patton across the way supporting his fellow classmates of the Lady Indians. And a point again goes to Heritage, 16-11. Some of the Lady Indian JV volleyball team here to support their teammates as well. Here's Skeens tried to tip it over the net. It goes into the net. And it's 17-11 Heritage. Chloe Passat, Ireland Thien, Daryl Watson, Casey Sands, Lexi Cruzen, and Haley Herring. Some of the JV girls over here to support the Lady Indians. Here comes a spike forward with a great dig. Skeens tips it over the net. Here comes another little tip. Madison Stanley lays out, saves it. Here's a tip over the net from Walker and a Lady Indian point. Mallory Sands into the lineup. Great effort by Madison Stanley. Just lays out, gives it her all, saves it, and that's what happens. You give it your all, and it's going to pay off, and it did right there for a Lady Indian point. Here comes a spike from number 5, Isabella Rousey. Boy, oh boy, she's been spiking it all over the place here today. Skeens, and it was out. Luckily for the Lady Indians, that ball could have been tipped, but luckily it did not hit off of Sands' attempt to hit it, and it's Lady Indian point with Sands to serve, 17-13. Here's Skeens with a set, and Plank taps it over the net for a Lady Indian point, 17-14. Like I've said it all along, all volleyball season long, I take this as like basketball. It's a game of runs. Whichever team goes on the biggest run is the team that normally wins. And right now, the Lady Indians are trying to get that run started. (18-14). Number 9 back to serve for Heritage, Grace Castleman. Boy, oh boy. Indians are not down and out. Still got a little work to do. The spike by 4 goes into the net, and it's 19-14. Lady Indians are going to have to get a few points here to be able to stay in it and have a chance at winning this first set, because Heritage is up by 5 here. Lady Indians are not communicating, and now the lead goes to 6 for Heritage. It's 20-14. I saw this a little bit out of the Lady Indians against Alexandria earlier in the season, and Plank with a spike, and it's too strong and sails out of bounds. 21-14. Timeout, Lady Indians again. Coach Coons not too happy with the girls. 21-14, Heritage leads. We're back in 60 seconds. This is IHSAA Girls Volleyball action live from Mississinewa High School. Back to Mississinewa High School, Heritage to serve with a 21-14 lead over Mississinewa. Number 9, Grace Castleman to serve. Here's a dig by Madison Stanley. And this one sails out of bounds. 22-14. Here's a serve over the net. Dig Stanley, set from Skeens. And here's Foy's little tip over the net. Comes a spike. Dig Sands, set from Skeens, and a tip over the net. And out of bounds, too strong from Hallie Plank. It's 23-14. Here's a serve. Taylor with a dig. Here's a little tip over the net from Plank. Up. And across the net goes Heritage. And the lead goes to 10 at 24-14 here in the first set. Again, it's the best of 5. Here's a serve. Skeens. Plank, spike, blocked, out of bounds. Heritage wins the first set, 25-14. At the end of the first set, Heritage takes a 1-0 lead, winning the first set, 25-14. We're back in 2 minutes. This is IHSAA Girls Sectional 23 action live from Mississinewa High School. Heritage wins the first set. back at Mississinewa High School. After the first set, Heritage jumps out to a 1-0 lead, winning the first one 25-14, and we're back for the second set. Again, this is IHSAA Girls Volleyball Sectional 23 live from Mississinewa High School. This game is presented by Hometown Animal Hospital. Be sure and check out Hometown Animal Hospital for your animal needs. 94 Schaefer Drive in Gas City. Maggie Castleman serves, and we're underway here in the second set. Here comes a spike from Plank. Blocked, but blocked too hard, and it goes out of bounds. And it's 1-0. Lady Indians. Mallory Sands going to go back to serve for the Lady Indians. Here's a serve over the net. Plank with a little tip over the net, and the Lady Indians jump out to the 2-0 lead. Shout out to head coach of the girls basketball team and a new head coach, Omega Tandy, in the building here today across the way. She's checking out some Lady Indian volleyball, and I'm sure some of her players play volleyball. Also, Andrew Everett, the boys basketball coach in the building, supporting the Lady Indians as well. Stanley thought the ball may have been hit too hard, but it was hit just right. It's in. And now the Lady Patriots get their first point in the second set. The Lady Indians lead 2-1. Here's a set. Here comes a spike from Castleman. No, that was Rousey. Sorry, Isabel Rousey. A little tip over the net, and we're tied up at 2. This is what happens. Once Heritage gets that momentum going, it's hard to stop it. So Lady Indians need to get going here. There's a set. Here comes a spike from Plank. A little too hard. Just a little too hard. Just barely missed it. And now it's 3-2. Lady Indians are still in this. They're not down and out of it. Here comes Foy. Spike. And this one looks to be in, and it is. Tied up at 3.
Great spike by Erica Foy.
I just about said the Lady Indians take the lead 4-2, because when we look up at the scoreboard, we're at Mississinewa. But for some reason, Heritage is the home team on the scoreboard. I think that's just the IHSAA rules based on where you are at. So here's Emily Taylor. There's a set. Spike from Heritage. Taylor hits it. Four to 3. Patriots lead over the Indians. Here's a serve. Taylor. Dodane sets it. Here's a tip over the net from Rousey. Set by Skeens. Tip over the net by Plank. Tip over the net by Plank again. This time it's too hard. It goes out. And Heritage takes a 5-3 lead. Once again, thank you for joining us for today's IHSAA Girls Volleyball Sectional from Mississinewa High School. Dalton Bishop and Ryan Scott with you for all the action today, throughout the day. Belmont wins the first match. They're in tonight's championship game at 4. Now we're trying to see who's going to be the second team to join them. Who's going to be the other team in the championship? Swift with a spike and a point for the Lady Indians. 5-4. Boy, Ryan, I don't know. You just can't base your judgment off of that first set. You got to wait till this is over to see, who's going to play Belmont in the championship game, because either team is capable of making it.
Yes, it's just like we said the first match this morning. We never knew who was going to win that match, and it's the same way with this. We don't know which side it's going to go to.
Like I say all the time, it's like basketball. Played just a little bit different, but it's a game of runs. Whichever team goes on the biggest run, it's a team that normally comes out with the victory. Right now, Heritage they've been running and are continuing to run. The serve goes out for the Patriots, but they still lead by 1, with Erica Foy going back to serve for the Lady Indians. Again, congratulations to Coach Funk and the Indian football team on a solid season at 7-2 and out the regular season with a win over Alexandria last night, 69-20. Here's a spike from Lockwood, and a point goes to the Lady Indians, and it's all knotted up at 6. The Indian football team travels to Frankfort this next Friday to play the Frankfort Hot Dogs in round 1 of sectionals. Also, congratulations to CIC opponent and foe, and Grant County foe, the Eastbrook Panthers, on an undefeated season in a Central Indiana Conference Championship, and a point to Heritage on a spike from number 7, Taylor Zelt.
Yes, a big spike by Heritage.
Zelt's all over the place here today. There's so many Heritage Patriot girls all over the place, but Taylor Zelt, number 7, she's only a junior, so she's got, at least one more year. And Isabella Rousey, number 5, is only a sophomore, so she's got 2 years left. And here's a Foy spike from the back line, and it's too strong, and it sails out of bounds for Heritage, their 8th point. Here comes a serve from number 11, Bree Dawson. Dig from Taylor, set from Skeens. Here comes a spike from Lockwood. It was blocked. And a point goes to Heritage, 9-6. Dawson again. Taylor, set by Skeens. Here comes Taylor Walker, spike, and it's good. And a point goes to the Lady Indians at 9-7. And Madison Stanley going to check in, and I'm sure she's going back to serve, and she is. 9-7. Heritage leads by 2. Here comes Stanley's serve across the way.
And
a point goes to the Lady Indians. One of the Lady Patriots stepped over that center line. You can't even have a toe over that center line, or it goes to an automatic point to the other team. And here's Stanley. Set. Here comes a spike from Zelt. She looked like she was going to spike it, so then she just tips it over the net. That was number 3, Maggie Castleman. She tried to spike it. It was out of bounds. And all of a sudden, the Lady Indians have tied the Patriots at 9-9. Here comes Stanley's serve again. She's one of the better servers on this Lady Indian team. Her ball is kind of like a knuckleball. It just goes over. A lot of the balls you see spinning, hers like spins at first and then it like stops and then just dies right there at the end. 10-9. Heritage with the lead. And Taylor Zelt back to serve for Heritage. Here's Skeens to Taylor Walker with a spike. Lockwood and Walker try to block it. Here comes Lockwood's spike. Walker's little tip over the net and a point. Tied up at 10, Ryan. Here we go.
It's another close match.
This time the Lady Indians are matching the Patriots' momentum.
Yes.
Patriots get momentum, and the Indians come right back at them. Here's Taylor's serve. Here comes a spike. It was in. It looked to be out from this point. The official said it was in. Number 2, Olivia Beard with that spike. Indian fans thought the same thing we did from this point. They thought it was out. But that's why they're wearing the white with the flags, and we're sitting up here talking about it. Twelve to 10. Heritage leads again by 2. It seems once Heritage gets a 2 or 3, 4-point lead, then the Indians come right back and try to catch back up and tie it up. So here we go. Tip over the net. There's Walker. Point goes to Heritage, 13 to 10.
Heritage with the other point. Nice spike.
So back to serve is number 13, or number 3 rather. That was Maggie Castleman. Back and forth they go. And this point's gonna go to, let's see, who's the point going to? It goes to Heritage. One of the Lady Indians must have stepped over that center line, and a 15-10 lead for Heritage. Here's a dig from Stanley. Walker tries to spike it, goes into the net. And now, Heritage lead goes up to 6. Lady Indians are gonna have to get going, or they're gonna dig themselves the deep hole. Here comes a serve for number 3. That was Maggie Castleman. Skeens. There's Walker, saves it. Plank's gonna tip it over the net. It was saved. Here comes number 5. That was Rousey. Now Skeens. Plank gets it over the net. Boy, oh boy, they're going back and forth. Foy just leaned, didn't even try to go after it. And it's 17-10 Heritage. Foy just gave up on it. Didn't even try to stop. She just lunged forward, didn't do nothing. Skeens is just running all over everywhere, playing her heart out, trying to stop it, the bleeding, but she just can't. One person can't do it all. It's 18-10, timeout Mississinewa. We're back in 60 seconds. This is IHSAA Girls Volleyball Sectional 23 live from Mississinewa High School. High School, where the Heritage Patriots are all over the Lady Indians right now. And here comes the serve from number 3, Castleman. A little too strong for the Lady Indians to handle, and now it's 19-10. So 19-10. Tyra Stanley going to check into the lineup. Coach Coons not too happy with some of her Lady Indians. Going to try to get some of the young girls in there to provide a spark. And Stanley, as she's supposed to do, stops that time. Here comes Plank. There's a spike. Stanley lays out for it, but too strong, but good effort from the sophomore. 20-10, Heritage with a lead. They're going to try to knock the Lady Indians out of this tournament again. But right now, Heritage is up 10 with already winning one set. 25-14, and they're up 20-10 right here. Here comes a spike from Plank. It is strong, and it's a point for the Lady Indians. 20-11. So, the Lady Indians go back to serve. It's going to be Mallory Sands. Indian fans sit in shock, trying to figure out what's going on to their team. And here's a serve from Sands, just barely snuck over the net, and a point for the Lady Indians. It worked out, 20-12. The Indian fans encouraging the Lady Indians to keep fighting. They're not down and out of it yet. You haven't lost until the scoreboard says 25. Here comes a set. Spike, it's a hard one from number 11, Bree Dawson. And just like that, Heritage capitalizes again, 21-12. Number 14 into the lineup for Heritage, that's Emily Schumann. So 21-12. Heritage leads over the Lady Indians. Taylor, Skeens tips it over the net for a Lady Indian point. 21-13. It is a 8-point lead for Heritage. Tyler Stanley checks out. Allison Swift in. Good job for Tyra Stanley, the sophomore. Over the net. Saved by the Indians. Here's a tip from Plank, and it drops in for a Lady Indian point. 21-14. 7-point lead for the Lady Patriots, rather. So 21-14, 7-point lead for Heritage. Mackenzie Skeens serves for the Lady Indians. Here it comes, across the far side. Dodane saves it. Here comes a spike across the net. Skeens is going to save it, now Swift. Here comes Plank, gets a little tip over the net. Heritage capitalizes. Sands, Skeens, here comes Foyce. Spike, no good. Dodane gets it over the net. Here's Sands, Skeens, Plank again. This one too high and too hard and out of bounds. It's 22-14. 3 more points, and Heritage goes on to win another set. It's going to be tough for the Lady Indians if Heritage wins this one, because that means the Lady Indians are going to have to win 3 straight sets to make it to tonight's championship game. Here's this set. Foy gets it across. Heritage capitalizing on everything the Indians are trying to do. Plank across the net. Heritage capitalizing on every opportunity the Indians have. Here's Plank, Swift, Emily Taylor, Dodane. Here's a set. Here comes Zell. It looks like, no, it's going to go out of bounds. And this point goes to Heritage. 23-14. Heritage is on their way to another win. Here's Dodane to serve. Here it comes. Goes to Foy. Here's Skeens. Here comes Swift. And a spike. And what's the call? A point, Lady Indians. One of the Patriots was into the net. And the Lady Indians are going to have to get rolling here. 23-15. The Lady Indians trail by 7. The Lady Indians are going to have to score at least 7 straight to have a chance. Here's Plank's serve. It's an ace. 23-16. Heritage still leads. Here comes another serve from Plank. It's a rainbow. There's a spike blocked, and the point goes to Heritage, 24-16. If you're a Chicago Cubs fan, they play tonight, 8 o'clock against the LA Dodgers. First game of the NL Championship. There's a serve, Taylor. There's Lockwood, blocked, and Heritage goes on and wins their second set, 25-16. At the end of the second set, Heritage goes up 2-0 over the Lady Indians, winning the second set, 25-16. This is the IHSAA Girls Volleyball Sectional live from Mississinewa High School. We're back in 2 minutes. This is the Lady Indian Volleyball on the Tribe Sports Network. Well, back at Mississinewa High School, where Heritage is annihilating the Lady Indians here today in the second game of today's second round contest of the IHSAA Girls Sectional 23 action. Heritage wins the first set 25-14, wins the second set 25-16, and one more set win for the Lady Patriots, and they will be playing in tonight's championship game at 4 o'clock against the Belmont Lady Squaws. So Mallory Sands is going to go back to serve for the Lady Indians and try to get some momentum rolling here for the Lady Indians. The Lady Indians got to win 3 straight sets to make it to tonight's championship game. And right off the bat, the Lady Patriots score.
And the Indians find another point. Score 1-1 in the third. Indians look to get this win, to go on, to play even more, to see if they can get their way into the championship later this evening.
Another point goes to Heritage. So things not going as planned today for the Lady Indians. They were all fired up yesterday and practice ready to play today. But all of a sudden, Heritage has just annihilated the Lady Indians here this afternoon. 2-1 here in the third set, and now make it 3-1. Heritage is all over the Lady Indians here today. Jessica Dodane back to serve. That serve looked like it went out of bounds there, but this official said it was in. And as a player and as a coach, you can't overrule the official. It's 4-1. Heritage with the lead. Here comes another serve. Here is a point, Lady Indians. Number 7, Taylor Zelt stuck her hands over the net, and you can't do that. So the Lady Indians are going to have to get a win here. They are in survival mode. Here's Plank's serve. It's going to be too strong, and I go out of bounds. And another point goes to Heritage, 5-2. Number 6, Kaylee Pyle into the lineup for Heritage. So Heritage seems to be like they're going to match up with Belmont here this evening. Here is the Lady Patriots. Boy, oh boy, they're playing good, but a point goes to the Lady Indians and make it 5-3. Erica Foy goes back to serve for the Lady Indians. Here comes her serve, and it goes across the far side of the net. And this is out of bounds, and a point goes to the Lady Indians, and now make it 5-4. So just when you think Heritage is going to run away with it, here come the Lady Indians crawling right back. And it is too short and into the net, and she is frustrated with herself. She's been frustrated with herself since the first set. And when you play with frustration, it's going to havoc you. 6-4. Here's Emily Taylor to Taylor Walker. Somehow gets it over the net. And it's out. And the Lady Indians get a point. And here comes Madison Stanley into the lineup. 6-5 is the score. Here in the third set, Lady Indians, again, they've got to win 3 in a row if they want to play in tonight's championship. Tip over that, Skeen saves it, and now here comes Lockwood. And it goes out, and we're all tied up at 6. So all of a sudden, the Lady Indians getting a little bit of momentum here in this third set. It's not over until it's over. I've seen crazier things happen, like Peyton Manning down 2 touchdowns and comes back and wins the game. These girls aren't professionals, but I've seen some crazy things happen like that. Walker. There's a save by Zelt. Foy saves it. Now here's a set from Skeens and a tip over the net. Madison Stanley lays out, saves it. Way to go from Stanley.
The point goes to Heritage. I don't know what happened.
I'm not necessarily sure what happened there, Ryan. The Indian fans look concerned of what they just saw. I'm a little confused on what I just saw. Eight to 6. Heritage with the lead. We got some viewers out in the California area tuning into today's contest, watching the Heritage Lady Patriots. So thank you for your support of IHSAA volleyball action. The serve goes out, and a point for the Lady Indians. It's 8 to 7.
Shout out to Assistant Superintendent Leslie Winter as she is supporting her Indians.
8 to 7. Here comes a serve from Taylor. This one is out. And a point goes to the Lady Indians. It's all tied up at 8. Here's another serve from Taylor. Here's Skeens. Taylor Walker. This one is in. The Lady Indians have taken the lead in set number 3, 9 to 8.
Let's see if the Indians can keep this run up and see if they can win this set.
As I said, for the Indians to play in that championship game tonight, you either win or you go home. And they've got to win 3 in a row. Way to lay out from Emily Taylor. She made her great play. Skeens, plank. Here comes a spike. A little tip over the net from Walker it is. And a point to the Lady Indians. The momentum has shifted 10 to 8. Lady Indians have gained some momentum here in this third set. Boy, oh boy. Here comes a serve across the net. Walker, plank, spike, point. 11-8. Lady Indians 3-point lead.
The Lady Indians are looking to extend their lead and win this set.
The Lady Indian crowd is starting to erupt, and the bench is erupting. Here we go. Here's a serve from Taylor. Foy. Here's Skeens. Goes to Taylor Walker. Spike. And a point goes to the Lady Indians, 12 to 8. Timeout Heritage, 12 to 8. Lady Indians with their first lead of today's contest. We're going to step aside for 60 seconds. This is IHSAA Girls Volleyball Action live from Mississinewa High School. So back we are here at Mississinewa High School. Lady Indians with a 4-point lead here in this third set, and a spike and a point from number 3, Maggie Castleman. So here we go. Castleman. Here's Stanley. Goes over. Plank, spike. No. Capitalized by Heritage. Here comes a spike from number 2. That was Olivia Beard. Here's Walker. Her spike. Capitalized by Heritage. Here comes a spike from number 5. That was Isabella Rousey. And just out of the timeout, back comes the Heritage Lady Patriots. 12 to 10. Again, those of you watching at home, thank you for your support of today's IHSAA Girls Volleyball Sectional. Got a California native watching out in Cali, supporting the Lady Patriots here today. Here's Plank, a little tip over the net. Not a single Lady Indian was back here on this far side. And a point to the Lady Patriots. And now the score is 11-12. So here we go. Here comes a serve from number 3, Maggie Castleman. Ball spiked. Dug by Stanley. Here comes Plank. A little tip over the net. Heritage eats it up this time. Here's a spike and a block by Plank and Walker. And it's 13-11 Lady Indians. The Lady Indians know just how important this set is. You either win or you go home. The Lady Indians are not ready to go home yet. Here's Sands with a serve across the far side. There's a set and a spike. And it goes out of bounds. It was tipped from one of the Lady Indians, and now the score is 13-12 with Heritage going back to serve. So Lady Indians with a 16-14 lead. Here is Foy's spike, and it's good. 17-14. Sorry we had a few technical difficulties there with some audio, and now we got it back. So Foy back to serve with a 17-14 lead here in today's IHSAA Round 2 Sectionals. Here comes a spike. That was number 3, Maggie Castleman. And a point to Heritage. Bree Dawson into the lineup for the Lady Patriots. Back to serve was Dawson. Here's Skeens to Swift. Spike, too strong out of bounds. 18-15. Lady Indians. Madison Stanley into the lineup for Mississinewa. She's going to go back to serve. And here is her serve. There's a spike and a point for Heritage. Mackie Castleman again. Number 2, Olivia Beard into the lineup for Heritage. Number 7, Taylor Zell back to serve. 18-16, Lady Indians with a 2-point lead here in the third set. Here comes Taylor Walker, gets it over the net. Here comes Castleman again. This time, the Lady Indians were all over it. Lockwood, Walker gets it over the net. Skeen saves it. She hit it twice. (18-17). Here's a spike from Lockwood. It's all tied up at 18 now. The Patriots are roaring back to life. Taylor Zelt serving again at 18-18. There it is. It is too strong and out. Now the Lady Indians are up with a 1-point lead. The Heritage Patriots fans not too happy about that call. Here's a serve from Emily Taylor. This one is in. And a point for Heritage. It's all tied up at 19. It's going to go down to the final play of this set. Heritage has taken back the lead, 20-19. The Indian fans keep encouraging the Indians. Keep fighting. It's not over yet. 20-19. As a serve into the net, it's all tied up at 20. Mallory Sands back to serve for the Lady Indians. Here it is. Stanley, set from Skeens, and here is Foy's spike, capitalized by the Patriots. And now the Patriots score, and now they take a 1-point lead at 21-20. Here's Plank's spike. Spike from the back row from Castleman. Here's Foy, gets it over the net. Blocked by Plank. It's out of bounds. And Heritage takes a 2-point lead at 22-20. Timeout, Mississinewa. 22-20. Heritage leads. Back after this on the Tribe Sports Network. It's all netted up at 22. Skeens back to serve again. Here it comes. Spike. Skeens saves it. Up again, and it falls right in the middle of a hole. Two more points. And Heritage goes on to the next round. 3 more and the Lady Indians stay alive. Here's Skeens. Foy gets it over the net. Here comes a spike. Hit Sam's right dead square in the face. And now they're down to their final point. Timeout, Mississinewa. It's 24-22. Heritage is 1 point away from making it to tonight's championship. So, the Lady Indians have got to capitalize. They need 3 straight points to win. 1 more point for Heritage, and they make it to the night's championship, and they eliminate the Mississinewa Indians. So 24-22. And set number 2, or set 3 it is. Here we go. Here's a serve. Too strong and out of bounds. The Lady Patriots did the Lady Indians a favor. Now the Lady Indians have got to capitalize with Hallie Plank back to serve. 24-23. Plank to serve. Here's her serve. Here comes a spike. Saved by Skeens. Here's Foy. Gets it over the net. Here we go. Here's a spike. Saved. Almost saved. And the Lady Indians season comes to an end. Heritage is going to tonight's championship with a sweep of the Lady Indians. They won the first one, 25-14, 25-16 in the second, and the third and final set, 25-23. It has been a great season for the Lady Indians, but it ends here today. Final score, Heritage 3, Lady Indians 0. The season has come to an end for the Lady Indians. We'll be back with tonight's championship at 4 o'clock. Have a good afternoon, everybody.